All right, cool. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Brendan Lee with Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, founded by Peter Ralston. I changed my backdrop, only slightly, because we are trying to do a bunch of online stuff. Question. Here we go. All right. Well, I'm going to read this, and then we'll see what happens. If my true nature is already true, how come I am not conscious of it? Because you aren't. And I have a question for you, maybe in the next video. Maybe it has been asked already. What is authenticity? How to be true to yourself. How do you be true to yourself? I don't know who I am, but I want to hear your opinion on what it means for you. What it means for you, being an authentic personality, smiley face emoji. That is something I'm struggling with right now, searching for relative truth about myself. I really want to hear your opinions / reflections on that. I feel this may be important for some people, for more people than just me. Inauthenticity is felt automatically by the mind. Oh, it's inauthenticity. Okay, inauthenticity is felt automatically by the mind. It's a quick judgment, possibly no second chances. Your message may be important, but inauthenticity is felt and people don't trust it, don't listen. What is the value of communication? Possibly a very important one, if it's not presented in a way that makes people listen. Cool, thank you. All right, so I'm just going to go through this and then break it down and then give you my opinion about that and or just speak on these matters from my own experience, and then you make up whatever you make up about that, which you will do regardless of what I say, by the way. So maybe it has been asked already. What is authenticity? Well, authenticity to me has something to do with, fucking being authentic and real and honest. See, something that's authentic is the real deal. And in terms of expressing something authentically, well, to me, that has a lot to do with honesty. Being honest. People who lie aren't very authentic. But I could see perhaps a liar could be authentic in their lying because that is authentically what they are doing. And then they may be authentic in that, and yet still what they're saying is a lie. So what it really is boiling down to is something that's not authentic. So that's just something to consider, which may be slightly off track here. But maybe this will be more valuable, or in some senses, like how to be true to yourself. Like how do you be true to yourself? Well, again, it's like you be honest. And then true to yourself, you see, like people talk about like, okay, what's my truth? What's your truth? And stuff like that. And then in Cheng Shin or the work that I do, it's like, well, we do the truth. And then some people say, well, what do you mean, the truth? It's like, well, because like Mormon people will come to your door and then ask you, I hear tell. They'll ask you, have you heard the truth? The truth. You see, they use that line. So then the truth gets bogged down in religion or spirituality. Say I come to you and I tell you, hey, here's my truth on blah, 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 blah about something. And then you come to me about that same thing, and then you tell me, hey, my truth about blah, blah, blah is something else. Now, there's my truth, then there's your truth. Now, what's the truth about your truth and my truth? They're different. That's the truth. So we can make a distinction between like some relative truth, like a perspective, which is always relative. You see, but the real truth is perspectives are different. That's the truth, and you can't mess with the truth. See? You see how that works? Or like if, I don't know, in my mind I want to go to like maybe some act of physical violence. Like if somebody hits me, the truth is they hit me. But maybe the other person who hit me, and this is breaking down in my mind, like this isn't going very well as far as I can tell, is like the person who hit me, maybe they're not aware that they hit me. So then they go, well, I didn't hit you, but then there's a bruise on my face. And we could say, well, no, the truth is you hit me, whether you know it or not. So then maybe there is a truth, like the truth, that can't be fucked with by anybody, myself or yourself, you see? And so in our efforts here, we go for the truth, but we don't presuppose to tell people what that is. We push people to figure it out, or what we call to become conscious of the truth. Whatever the truth is, I just don't like when I say the truth. It has a negative connotation to me in the sense that I can hear or imagine what other people are going to make up about what I say, and they're going to be wrong about that. You see, so then we want people to go for whatever the truth is. And it just so happens the truth, if you go for what's true, that has a lot to do with being authentic. Because authenticity and the truth have something in common. And I'm not talking about your truth, my truth, any of that bullshit. No, I'm talking about the truth. And there is something that is actually real. But you have to discover what that is, you see. So it definitely becomes challenging. So then going back to the question, it's like how to be your true self. You see, this one from my perspective currently is very funny because people think there is a true self. You think yourself, see this guy here? You think there's something true about this representation. Now, from my perspective, which is as if informed by the truth, but don't worry about that. You see, how to be your true self, I would highly recommend that you put in the work for yourself and discover, one, what a self is. You see, because it may be true that yourself isn't true. That like nothing that you do is ultimately true because you do it and then you don't. Or you do it for a time and then you die. So then how does that make anything that you've done like somehow relevant or true because it's going to exist and then not? So then where's the truth there? You see? Where do you actually get to exist? Because what you have about what I just said is totally a concept right now, and there is no existence that is a concept. There's nothing as if substantial about a concept. And yet, right away, everything turns into a concept. So then what's actually true? Or like what's actually true about a human being? When they grow, they live, they die. And then after they're dead, what is left of them that is somehow true? You see, so we're thinking that the truth maybe, continues or something? You see, so then how do you be your true self? Well, take a look. Maybe there is nothing true about a self. Maybe there is. But I would recommend getting conscious of what a self is, and then you'll know what's true or not. You see, that's where I think you could get a lot of value, is by tackling these questions firsthand for yourself. As I like to rant often, if you think about Buddha, you see, and then again, right? I say the word Buddha. I know I've got Buddha on pictures of my face in Buddha. I'm not a Buddhist. I don't care about Buddha. I don't even care there's a statue. It looks good, okay? So, but in terms of Buddhism or Zen or religion, I don't care about any of that stuff. So please don't associate me that way, and then maybe I'll stop posting pictures of me with Buddha in the background because I know you probably will associate automatically because your mind is like that. Anyway, I'm not going off on a tangent here. Okay? Buddhism's made up. So is there anything true about Buddhism? No. Somebody made it up. What's true about it is it's made up. So then how do you be your true self? Well, figure out what a self is, and then you'll know if there's anything true there. That's my 2 cents. Or 50 cents or fucking $500 or whatever. Okay. So then now, in terms of a self or a person, one thing Here's now that I've said all that, you can put that aside. Now, in terms of being like a true person or a self that shows up authentically, it is useful to be committed to authenticity. You commit yourself to being authentic. You do not lie. You be as honest as you can be. If you lie, you authentically lie. You don't hide that. You own it. You see, but what I'm saying is like, don't make an ideal out of being authentic. It's like you be a human being and you be real with what you're doing, whether you're lying or not. Whether you're being a good person or a bad person, you get real with that. And you authentically be that. You don't hide it from yourself, from others, perhaps. Although the nature of a lie is that you're hiding something from somebody else. But you authentically stand up and do whatever you're doing for real. Right? Now, in terms of deepening your authenticity, there are things that happen with human beings that they don't know that they're doing. And this is where shit gets real tricky, because I have seen people that are running what we call a racket, or like a certain like persona that they have. Okay? That itself is an inauthentic representation of who they are. Like they've lied so much for so long that they've become the lie and forgotten that that's something that they've done. And so then they walk around as a shell of a person that if you look at them, you're just like, nah, there's something you aren't really authentic. And they don't even know they're doing it. I've seen this. I have seen this. Now, how do you combat that? Or if you're a person who really wants to be authentic, how do you get at that stuff? Well, it's not, as far as I can tell, it's not really easy. And it does seem to take an extreme commitment to honesty on your part. That means you be honest with you. How do you do that? Well, it does seem to work to question what it is that you're doing, and or what am I doing that I don't know I'm doing? Because there is stuff that you do, you have no idea you're even doing it. And then commit yourself to becoming aware, fully aware of everything you're doing, whether you like it or not. And then be real with that. Own it. And if you do this enough and put in the work enough, you will start to become more authentic and show up more authentically. Like, what I hear in this letter here, that the person writing this, they're saying to me, you are an authentic personality. That's what it says in the letter. And then why would they say that? Because they look at me and they see that what I'm presenting is as real as I can possibly get it. I am not trying to, as Peter Ralston would say, I'm not trying to snow you. I'm not trying to fool you. I'm just trying to be real to the best of my ability, and that comes across. You see, now, one major reason that is even coming across in the first place, like this person, the way that it does, is because I have put in thousands upon thousands of hours of work on myself and being honest. And having a teacher who is, in my mind, kind enough to tell me when I'm off track. And I get feedback, and then I go, oh my God, like, holy crap, there's this whole domain of my life where I'm just like a shitbag or something. And they tell me. To me, that's the biggest gift ever. Because then I see things I never saw about myself, and then it gives me an opportunity to become aware of that and then change. You see, these are the reasons why, like, if you notice anything about this character here that is authentic, that's why. Because I'm doing that. That is what I'm up to. See, if I was up to trying to fool you or trick you, you would register that, as the person in the letter here is mentioning. Like, as soon as something is inauthentic, it comes across as that. You know the people. When you watch them on YouTube, or, me especially these days, I'm on YouTube and an ad pops up with some person who's like, whoa, do you have the thing where you want to, like, you're working a job and you don't like it, and then you should quit your job. And then let me tell you my five easy steps to building wealth fast. I can tell they're full of shit. See, and I don't listen. Cool. So there's some stuff about authenticity. And then again, it's like it's on you. And as far as I can tell, if you want to be authentic, probably your number one principle is going to be honesty. And honesty doesn't mean telling the truth to be a good boy or girl or whatever. You see, that's like an ideal. Oh, if I tell the truth, I'll be living the right life. No. You just tell the truth to tell the truth. And then more importantly, you tell the truth to yourself. Tell the truth to yourself about what you do, why you do the things you do, and then what is the stuff you're doing you don't even know. Tell the truth about that. See, and then you will be working on being authentic. You see, and maybe you're trying to be authentic to be like okay, so I have hung out with a group of people like the authentic relating community, and then there are some people in that community, as far as I can tell, and as maybe it's changed since I've been there. So lovely people, I love it. But and it's authentic relating, and then there as far as I can see, there's guys that go to authentic relating to look and drop in with a girl and be totally authentic with a woman because they want to get laid or whatever. You see, but so then that's not authentic. They want to get laid. That's the reality. So they're trying to make a deep connection with a female so that they can get their jollies. That would be being authentic. It would be telling them, hey, look, I'm trying to make a connection with you right now so I can get my dick wet. See, that'd be real, more real in my world. See, so but then that's authenticity. That's being real with it. And then one of the things with honesty is you get what you get. You're honest, and then it's like there's a freedom to that. Because whatever I represent, that's it. If somebody doesn't like it, they don't like it. That's it. You take your lumps. But there is, in my experience, there is a benefit or a payoff to being honest. I don't get what I want as an individual, but I do get something else. And then I think that you should discover that for yourself if that's something you want to do. Cool? So there you go. That's what I've got for you on authenticity. Let me check and see if there's anything else here in this letter. So now, this is authenticity in terms of human beings. I guess that seems to be where it shows up the most. I don't know if there is, if authenticity applies the same way to objects, except if I'm thinking about paintings, like if something is an authentic Leonardo da Vinci painting, that's authentic. And if it's not, it's not. But it seems a little more black and white when it comes to objects. People can fake objects in that sense. But it doesn't seem that objects can sort of hide what they are in a certain way. But then you can also consider authenticity in terms of your experience, your perceptive experience. Like, is what you're actually perceiving, is that actually authentically what is? You see? And that's when shit gets real, like, whoa, okay. Because consider your perceptive experience. And you can ask, like, is what you perceive what is really there? Without knowing what's really there, you can't really answer that question, can you? See? And that's a whole nother domain of authenticity. And one where I think that, like, if you drove in there, likely you would discover some very fundamental things about perception, about your perspective, about what we consider most real. Like, for example, if you look at an object, it might be useful to consider that what you have of the object is not what is there. Scientifically, the scientific argument, like one scientific argument you can consider is You don't see infrared and you don't see ultraviolet light. So what you see is a very narrow range of what is actually there. In terms of hearing, you only hear within a certain range. In terms of touch, I'm sure you and sensation, you only feel within a certain range. A fly does not see what you see. So then what's actually really there? Is your perception actually authentically what's there? You know, you can put that in your pipe and smoke it. And consider that for a while. You see, then that's taking as if maybe honesty, that's taking honesty. I don't know that it's necessarily taking authenticity to a whole level, but being honest with your experience and then getting what's really there. Then you could perhaps authentically or relate more authentically to what is rather than what you think is. And that may be a benefit or a value if you're seeking that. All right? So, you can mess around with that stuff. That's what I've got for you for now. Thank you very much for listening to me ramble on here. It's Brennan Lee with Consciousness and Skill Worldwide, founded by Peter Ralston. Oh, also, if you want to get more serious with me, check the links in the description, please. I'd love it for you to pay me some money to teach you more stuff and or for you to come to a live event. That'd be awesome. Catch you later. Thank you for your questions. Keep them coming.